Hey folks, Joey Kissimmee here with IncomePress.com, and this is the very first and hopefully of many super quick tutorials for the IncomePress blog. This is actually the first video, the first post that you will see on this blog. As you can see here, this is a brand spanking new blog. This is the actual blog that I will be working with from now on. And there's nothing here but the very first post that comes with it when you first install the WordPress to your site, which is this little hello world message here and welcoming you to WordPress and all that stuff, right? Well, I just thought it'd be kind of cool to actually show you a blog from the beginning. This is a brand spanking new thing that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm finally getting around to it. A lot of you guys may know me from my old blog, joeykissimmee.com. It was a blog that I've had for many years. I love it. It's my passion. But I just thought it was time for something different, for a change, and something new. So here we go, IncomePress.com, and this is the very first video of hopefully many years to come. I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin, shall we? Now, in this super quick tutorial, I'm going to give you guys 3 tips to starting your blog the right way. Okay, I know for a lot of people out there, when they first start off a blog, they get all overwhelmed because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look sexy because there's not a lot of content in there. As you can see right here, this looks horrible. Alright, now let me show you real quick my old blog, joeykissimmee.com. I mean, this is an old blog. There's tons of content. It looks pretty. It's very organized. You know, but the only way you could do this is if you have enough content to play with, and then you could do something like this. Okay, but for when you're first starting out, you need to know what to do with it in order to start it off the right way. Okay, now I'm going to show you the theme template that I'm working with, that I'm going to be using for my blog. This is from Studio Press. It's called Magazine Template. And here's one that's, this is how it's going to look eventually when I have enough content to play with to make it look pretty. Okay, I'm probably going to play with it a little bit more, do some custom stuff to really stand out and make it unique. But basically, this is how it's going to look. I mean, as you can see, it looks pretty, it looks really good and presentable. Because, folks, that's really what it's all about. You need to make it presentable because first impression is key. If you go to this blog right here right now, it's gonna suck, it's gonna look ugly, and you're just gonna leave and not come back ever again. But if you see something like this, you know, you're not only going to read the post that you came into, but you're also going to go and search around for other content. Now I'm going to show you another one of my niche sites that I've been working with. It's a brand spanking new one. I'm using the very same theme, the magazine theme, and this one has very few posts. And this is actually the first tip from the 3 tips that I'm going to give you today, and it's how to make your blog look full and presentable. And guys, remember, it's key that you make your blog look presentable. First impression is key, because if the first impression they hate it, they're going to be like, oh, it sucks, they're going to leave forever. So here's the trick to do it when you only have just a few posts to work with, like maybe 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 posts. All right, now what you want to do before you make it look all nice and pretty like this, you want to have your home page to use the blog page template, which means it's just one column, okay, and all the content is on the left hand side or the right hand side. A lot of themes now, you have a choice of putting it on the left or the right. You want to have just a few widgets on the right hand side here. I like to put the widgets on the right side because when you read from left to right, right? So if just a few widgets here, okay, like a subscribe little button thing there, a video if you have some, a little calendar, just something to make it look full. And right here on the left hand side is just one column of content. This page actually only has 2 different posts. It has about 4 or 5 pages, which is right up here. But what you will see on the home page is the actual post. And as you can see, I'm going to scroll down. If you land on this page, it looks presentable. It looks full. Okay, I filled it up with a lot of images as well. That's another tip. It's a hidden tip there. I actually didn't think about that. It's actually 4 tips. You want to use a lot of images, not like 10 or 20, but a good 3 to 4 images per post. This one only has 2 different posts. I'm gonna scroll down. As you can see, it looks full, it looks presentable, it looks good. And right here you can see recent posts, only 2s. But we're working on this. It's a brand spanking new niche site that I'm building, and it's been a lot of fun, and we will get this full, but we want to get out there to the public, and you know, so they can start getting traffic. All right, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, when you have something like this, okay, when you have nothing at all, you're working on your content, you still have like 1 or maybe 2 different content, you want to use something called maintenance mode. It's a plugin. I'll have it below this video so you guys can download. It's totally free. And what'll happen, okay, is when people land on your website, it's live, it's ready to go, but they will see something like this. Okay, I opened this in another in Safari so you guys could see that I'm not logged in, but it says right there clearly it's in maintenance mode. You know, it says sorry for the inconvenience, blah blah blah, please try back in. And this plugin is pretty cool. It has a little countdown. Now you don't have to use the countdown. I actually did it because I'm actually thinking of launching incompress.com in 14 days from this video. So when I'm making, as I'm making this video, the site is not live. This is what you'll actually see. But anyways, so it's pretty cool. So that's tip number 2. While your blog is live and out there on the internet, you don't want people to go there to your site. So you want to have something like this. All right. Now let's go to tip number 3, which is how many blog posts you should post before you could make it go public. Okay, now definitely if you only have like 1 or 2 different posts, you don't want to go public with this. You don't want to, because if a person actually likes the content, they're gonna want more. And if you only have like 1 other one to share with them, they're probably not gonna come back again. Okay, so here's what you do. Like, what I like to do is actually, like this page right here, okay, actually has only 2 posts, but I have 4 different pages here, so they could go in there and see other content that I have there. So for tip number 3, before you go public with your blog, because I know it's very exciting when you first start and you want to get it out there to show it to people and share it to people, or share it with people, okay, I recommend having at least 4 to 8 posts, at least minimum of 2 posts and like 4 to 5 different pages. Okay, you want to have enough content for your audience and your visitors to consume. You just don't want them to go in there once and then that's it. Okay, so I would highly recommend having 4 to 8 different pages or posts. Okay, now I don't want to get into details you know, with the difference between pages and posts. They're pretty much the same thing. You just want to have 4 to 8 different types of content for them to consume. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's my 3 tips for starting your blog off the right way. Tip number 1, make your blog look full and presentable, and you do that by using the blog theme template. It's very simple. You just make sure you go back there in the back office of your WordPress and set it to blog page template. Okay, actually I think it's set at default like this, but I'm not sure because each template is different. Tip number 2, use a maintenance mode plugin like this, so when people go in there, they won't, you know, get caught up with an ugly blog. All right, use a maintenance mode plugin, you know, just until you fill it up with some content to make it go live. And tip number 3, have at least a minimum of 4 to 8 different posts before you go live with your blog. Okay, you want people to go in there and love your stuff from the get-go, from the beginning. Okay, and that's pretty much it for me here, guys. Right here, as you can see, a brand spanking new ugly blog, but I promise you, as soon as you see this video, it'll look presentable for you. It'll look full, and I'll have enough content in here for you to consume. So with that said, this is Joey Kissimmee with incompress.com. Peace. I love you free. Out.